You would, Erin. Okay. All right, guys. So Laura asked me to do this call because we're moving into the fourth quarter of the year, which is by far our busiest quarter. Some people say that it's also the slowest one, but I feel like it's just the calm before the storm. And honestly, if you wait until November and December to start being proactive, you've missed it. Because during that time, people may be distracted with shopping for presents and, trying to budget for the holidays, but they're also already thinking about what they're doing for New Year's and what their New Year's resolutions are and what their plan of attack is going to be. So you need to be in their minds before they make that decision so that you don't totally miss the train and then you're standing there in January like, shit, I didn't do anything and now here I am and I'm struggling. So last year, my worst months were August to October. And I specifically remember on Halloween night, I begged one of my best friends to go on and buy the challenge pack so I could hit Success Club, and I paid her to do it. And at that point, it was rough. I was struggling. That was like one of the worst months. I literally bought my Success Club points that month. But I did hit it. And then November and December and January and February were way better. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I changed a few things moving into November. And also, obviously, the Max 30 launch in December was huge. And then in February, we had 21 Day Fix Extreme, which I actually didn't sell a single 21 Day Fix Extreme until way later. So it doesn't really matter that the products launch. It matters what you put out there and what people are seeing, which I'm going to go further into. So what I did was I just wrote down like a few bullet points and like tips, and I'm just going to kind of elaborate on them, but I'm going to go really quick because I don't want you guys on here all night, so bear with me. First things first, you have to start planning now. I'm pretty sure most of you guys probably already figured that, but you can't know what you're going to do in December if you don't plan for it ahead of time, because you need to start reaching out to people now, planning now, getting the groups ready, figuring out when you're going to have your challenge group, figure out when you're going to have your What Is Coaching events and groups, figure out who's running what with you, what style you want it to be. Do you want it to be open challenge group to anybody? Do you want it to be program only? Are you going to use a template? Are you not? You need to have all those details figured out so that you can spend more time building relationships and focusing on people during the months rather than all the mechanics of the challenge groups and other crap like that. Something else I did, and that I still do occasionally, is offer free stuff to get conversations going. So last November, I created an entire Thanksgiving menu, and it was all healthy recipes, like healthy versions of stuff people normally eat. So like my turkey, my stuffing, whatever. And I put that on my page, and I offered everybody, they have a free copy of it. I made a PDF, and they just had to let me know, and then I would message it to them, and then they could have it. I didn't charge anything for it. I didn't make them sign up for anything. But it was a really great way to bring traction to my page and also to kind of get into a conversation with people, because I then followed up after Thanksgiving and I was like, hey, did you try out the menu? Did you like anything from it? Do you have any suggestions for next year? I kind of just want to know what I can do to make it better or whatever. That way there, people know you care. You're talking to them. It's a great way to start conversations, and people love free shit. If they're anything like me, I love recipes, so why not? Okay. Another thing that you can do that kind of sucks, but it's super effective, is going back through all of your old messages from this year. Every single one. Write down a list of every single person you talked to who didn't commit. So whether or they didn't respond, whatever it was, obviously just as long as they're not a coach and they're not super active. Even if they did commit and they're just not present anymore, like if they dropped out of your challenge groups or they're a coach who kind of went MIA, follow up with them. Write down this list and start talking to them now. Remind them, go back through and read your conversation, take a note of what their goal was or what they were trying to accomplish, and bring that back to their attention so that now they're thinking about it. And they know that they need to get it together. Otherwise, they're going to start 2016 feeling like shit, just like they did 2015. We don't want that. We want people to feel like they accomplished something and like we didn't let them down. Let me see. Can't read my writing. Last year, there was actually one of the other coaches on a whole other team made this image. and it was kind of like a wish list image. I'll try to find it and share it again or pull it up from our old photos. But it was basically this thing that said like that you would send to all your customers so they could use it to send to their family or friends as like a wish list. So it would have the coach's information and how the family or friends could contact the coach in case they wanted to purchase anything for that person. So like, let's say Deneen wanted 21 Day Fix and she was going to ask her mom for it, but she wanted to make sure that I got the credit for it. So she would send her mom this little image and it would tell her exactly how to contact me to order it. And on there you put like all your information. It was really helpful. I actually got a lot of people who did purchase from that for family and friends. It was just kind of hard to distribute it, but I think I figured out some other ways. So you can send it either as a bulk email from your back office, or if you're good with, Deneen, what's it called? MailChimp. If you're good with MailChimp, which I obviously am, you can use that as well to send it out, or you can just do individual messages if you don't have a ton of customers. That might be easy too. Another thing I did a lot of in December and November especially was giveaways. So the entire month I ran a giveaway where I did either $20 cash back or I think I did like E&E for anybody who purchased a challenge pack. And of course you don't want to say it that way. You want to say like, oh, I'm doing this giveaway and the first 3 people to purchase get their choice of either $20 cash back or Energize, whatever you want to do, so that it puts some pressure on people and it makes it seem like it's something they need to do quick. So you're not sitting there on the 30th signing up a bunch of people. But I found that that was really helpful because people are looking for a bargain. You know, they're spending a lot of money. The holidays are coming up and they want to feel like they're getting a good deal. Beachbody also does a Black Friday sale. So make sure you're on top of that for whenever it comes out. We don't usually find out the details of what's going to be on sale until a day or two before, if even. But you can start talking about that now. You can start talking about how you're excited to see what they come up with and if they will, and, you know, make sure you're posting about it in your challenge group so that people are looking out for it and you're not talking about it just when it comes out. Building some hype. Another thing I did, and by the way, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, these are in no particular order, so sorry about that. Was when I was signing up coaches, because the end of the quarter last year was when I signed up the most coaches. I think I signed up more coaches in those 3 months than I signed up the entire year. I averaged like 10 per month, which was insane for me. One thing I did a lot of, and because it's true, is I was telling people, you know, if you're thinking about coaching, you need to do it now, especially in November and December, because January is too late if they're trying to get in and get the rush of people, because January is New Year's. People have already either committed or they're not going to. But especially if people are thinking about signing up in November, I would say, you know, I think if you're thinking about it, now is the perfect time because we can get you in training and I can get you through all of that and you can feel comfortable working the business for the rush. And for our really busy season. And not only that, but you can get in and you can get results before New Year's. So you can share those results and hopefully build up your business quickly and not miss our busy season. Because what sucks more than signing up January 2nd and missing out on everything? Honestly, November is the perfect month because then they have a month of training and then a month of working out and sharing their progress and really building up. But don't hesitate to use that. It worked really, really well for me last year. So another thing you have to do right now is start upping how much you share your progress pictures and your workouts. And I know normally we say don't like OD on posting about workouts and the programs and Shakeology and things like that, but now is the time because people are looking for solutions. So that's how you're going to show them the solution that you have. Of course, you still need to post about other things, not just your workouts all the time. But by all means, right now, you need to be posting often about your workouts, sharing a progress picture. I try to share a progress picture, not right now, but before, about every 2 to 3 days so that people were constantly seeing the progress I was making and I was in their face with it. And videos are obviously super effective. And then the last thing I have, because this was like kind of like my end of the year thing, and then I'll go into the launch, is if you have a team, if you have any coaches, when it comes to the holidays, I highly suggest doing something for the team. So last year I sent out gifts to all of my coaches and cards to all of my downline that weren't my personally sponsored coaches. It was pretty expensive, and there's no way I could do it again this year. But I think even if it's as simple as sending out a Christmas card or a holiday card if they're not into Christmas, and just, showing them some love, and because you can't neglect your team. Your team is going to carry your volume, and they're going to carry a lot of weight, and they're going to help build you up when it comes to that side of the income. So yeah, you're going to be focusing a lot on, sharing your journey and your workouts and stuff like that and getting new customers, but you want your team to feel successful and loved as well, so that they're also helping you cycle. So that you're enrolled. So just another thing I would suggest doing. Okay, so the launch. This is kind of a big deal because the launch is literally like 4.5 weeks from now. So hopefully you guys have started talking about it already. I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of haven't, so it sucks. But we can all do it now, and do it together, because people need to be excited about the launch. Even if you don't really know what Hammer and Chisel is, or you don't really care about the program or want to do it, or even if you're in the middle of doing another program, you want to still share about it, because this is a big program and a huge launch. Autumn Calabrese is probably the most famous trainer besides Jillian Michaels that I can think of off the top of my head. I would say she's even bigger than Shalene. It's going to be a huge launch. 21 Day Fix sold out. It was on back order for like 6 months. 21 Day Fix Extreme, I don't think it ever went on back order, but it sold a lot of copies. So people really love her, and she's really relevant, and she does a lot on social media, so people keep up with her. Sagi is like world famous, so a lot of people respect him. This is a big launch. It's a huge program. It's also the first time we've ever had 2 like master trainers together. So it's a big deal because it touches men and women, and kind of this area that we haven't really gotten to yet, which, I don't know if you guys have had this issue, but I deal with a lot of people who are into fitness already, and they feel like Beachbody is like the lame thing to do because it's not intense enough. And I'm like, okay, have you ever done Max 30? Because that shit's crazy. But to them, it's all about like picking things up and putting them down. They want to like lift weights and feel like they're like huge. So this kind of gets into that realm where we can start opening up more to like personal trainers and people who are really into like heavy weightlifting and things like that. This program is not meant for people who are beginners. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people. It is meant for a more intermediate to advanced group. But it's super important to start talking about it now. Last year when the Max 30 launched, Davies, who is Laura's coach, Steph Davies, actually was in the test group. So she wasn't really allowed to share too much with us, but we did have access to her progress pictures once she got them. And she talked to us about it a little bit, and she did like a video log series on her YouTube channel where she talked about it each day she did the program. So we kind of had a backstage glimpse. We don't really have that with this launch, but Nikki Whiting and other people have shared their progress pictures. They have done videos. Barbie Kalev, who is Sagi's wife, posts all the time about her workouts. So I encourage you guys to go and learn about the program through that, so that you can have an idea of what to say in your post. I understand there's no templates out there yet. I understand there's no FAQs on it yet. It's kind of hard to say something when you don't really know what it is, but there are ways to educate yourself. You just have to be proactive about it. So what we did last year was we scoured YouTube and Facebook and Instagram for people who were in the test group, or even people who found workouts or like exercise moves from the program. And then we just recorded ourselves doing them as like sneak peeks. So like for Max 30, I would do like a burpee lunge and do a video of it and being like, coming out soon, this is going to be part of Insanity Max 30. This is going to be intense. And I would do that like once or twice a week, so that I was showing people kind of what it was. But I obviously didn't have the whole program, but even 1 or 2 a week is more than enough to just pique their curiosity. When we did the 21 Day Fix Extreme launch, it was a little bit different. because we had 21 Day Fix, which is like the precursor to Extreme. So what we did, and this is another option that you can do now, since 21 Day Fix is kind of relevant to this, we did a countdown to the 21 Day Fix Extreme. So every single day I would share somebody's progress picture from 21 Day Fix, and I would count it down. So my post would be like a picture, and on the caption it would be like 21 Day Fix Extreme countdown, and then it would be like this person's progress with 21 Day Fix. And then in the post, I would talk about their journey and their progress and kind of like how they were either going to transition into 21 Day Fix Extreme or they're not, or it's coming out and it's like the next version of this. But that was a really great way to share how effective 21 Day Fix was and bring up 21 Day Fix at the same time. And I think that that's honestly why I didn't sell a lot of 21 Day Fix Extremes, and I just kept selling 21 Day Fixes, because I was sharing a progress picture literally every single day. And people, they were responding to it. And try to make sure that your pictures are all across the board. You know, somebody who had a ton of change, and also people who don't. Like, I'm smaller, so people sometimes feel like sharing my progress pictures aren't like a huge deal, but I still get a ton of traction, because even though I'm smaller, you can still see changes. And obviously with people who have bigger transformations, their stories are just insanely inspiring. So share them all. Anybody you can get your hands on. If you post in any of the groups, people are always willing to let you use their progress pictures, and just plan them out. Like, I remember I sat down at the beginning of each week and just made all the posts so that, you know, every day I didn't have to make it. I just had them saved in my camera roll. Okay, another thing I did, especially with Max 30, was I talked about a lot about why I was excited and also why I was scared. So Max 30 was my first program I ever did that wasn't like a heavy strength training program. We shouldn't say heavy, but it wasn't a strength training. It was a more cardio-based. So I talked a lot about how I was scared and nervous about that, and how I wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep up with it, and it was really far outside of my comfort zone. And I honestly feel like by opening up and sharing that with people and sharing like my worries, but how I was still going to give it a shot, kind of took their guard down, and they were like, okay, you know, like, I understand how you feel. And like, then I started doing it, and they were like, okay, well, she was really nervous about that, but she's doing it, so maybe I can do it too. You never know. And then also why you're really excited. I shared a lot about how I was excited just because of the simple fact that I wanted to feel like I could accomplish it. It was stepping outside of my comfort zone, and I felt like it would help me grow. Obviously, oh, I have a side note here. So if you guys are looking for any of the test group photos for Hammer and Chisel, or if you're looking for workout videos or anything like that that you can steal from, you can check Autumn's page. She posts about it a lot. The test groups, I don't know why I wrote that down, because we don't have access to that. Team Beachbody, their page on Instagram, posts about it a lot. And there is a Hammer and Chisel page that you can follow on both Facebook and Instagram. And they post pictures and workout videos all the time, just so you know. And then obviously you want to buy Hammer and Chisel like the day it releases, so that you can get it and start working out and posting about it right away. When I got my package for Max 30, I unboxed it. I recorded a video and posted it so people could see what came in the package. And, you know, like the very first day I did the first workout, and I posted a video, and I was like, holy shit, I'm dying. I can't do this. And Dread was recording me, and I literally like cussed for a whole minute before I finally maxed out. And I posted it because I wanted people to see it was real. But that's what you need to be doing. You need to be sharing it from the day you get it until you finish the program, because that's what you need to do. Post about it every single day, every single day. I think that's it. That's all I've got. It's not very exciting stuff. Basically, it just means that the fourth quarter is crazy because it's holidays, and I totally get that, and there's a lot going on in our personal lives. But if you just prepare now and you start building up the momentum right now, the holidays will come and you won't be busting ass trying to catch up and not miss the wave. And you know, you don't want to be sitting there in January when everyone else is like killing it, looking back like, oh, I wish I would have just done that. You know, plan your posts out, schedule them if you have to. Know what you're doing, come up with a plan of attack, and just be diligent about doing it every single day. The time is going to pass regardless. You just put in a little bit of effort. It will go a long way. Yep. Anyone got any questions? I feel like that was fast, but it really wasn't. Anyone? Someone? I couldn't have been that thorough. Come on, guys. Erin, you were giggling a lot over there. I saw you.
Hi.
Hi.
It's not a question. It's more of a request because I like the holiday idea and sharing the link and everything. I've never done that before. So,
wait.
Remember you were... What?
I don't remember what I said, Deneen. What did I say?
Remember how you were saying like how people, like you formatted an email where people can send out your link as like part of their wish list for the holidays, like what they wanted?
Yeah.
No,
it was an image. It didn't have my actual link on it. It just said like, I don't remember. Erica Flynn made it. And it was like, basically, I want this. Here's what I want. And if you want to get it for me, please contact my coach. And she'll get you hooked up, basically. But it was not.
That's a stalker ass. You said Erica Flynn?
Yeah, it's in one of the leaders groups, so I'll find it.
Oh, okay.
I'll find it and repost it in the groups for you guys so you can copy it and change it to however you want. But she made it in Monkey, which is way fancier than I'm
Oh, cool. I mean, whatever. It's legit.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks, Deneen.
You're welcome.
Thanks for speaking up. Okay. Erin and Lizette, I see you guys are unmuted. Christy.
I don't remember why.
How much wine did you have?
Like half a glass.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Lizette, what? Okay, what?
Or was Lizette going to talk? You can talk.
No, I'm good.
Cool. No, I was just going to say, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to build off something that Frances said. So opposite of her, my November last year was kind of like the big womp womp. But I sent out, it was my first month sending out a ton of cold messages so that when January and December actually came around, those really built up and like suddenly people were contacting me. So even if you feel like things are going slow, if nothing else, definitely with the consistency, especially if you're in the Destin for Diamond group, you know about it because of the call last night. But just make sure you're sending out those cold calls because that's going to play a huge part in the launch and moving into the new year. So that's my way.
You can't expect to have like a crazy good month if you don't start working until that month. You know, it takes time to build up to whatever you're trying to accomplish. So like if you want to have like an amazing November and December and January, you had to start working in September and October. It doesn't mean you can't still, it just means that you're going to have to work a little bit harder and, you know, so whether you can build up that momentum. So all of us need to start now working so that November and December will be amazing. Okay, we're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing we did when Max 30 launched, which was really, really great, was we did like a Max 30 only challenge group, and it was huge. It was team-wide. Davies ran it with Brittany Spain, and that's when they started the whole cover photo challenge group, mini challenge picture thingies. But we did like a soft call, or not a soft call, geez, I'm getting tired. A soft start to the challenge group. So for like a week or two before the program launched and before everybody could order, or even whenever they did first order, we opened up the group and put them in there, and we all were doing like mini challenges every single day and like preparing. So people were buying like the right shoes, they were buying like their foam rollers, they were getting used to the menu, things like that, so that it got them excited and, you know, ready to go, and we were able to prepare them. And that was also an extra incentive that we could offer as coaches, like, hey, we've got this group going on where we're kind of getting everybody like revved up and ready to go. So if you want me to add you, like, let me know. Basically, they just had to commit to purchasing, excuse me, and then we'd add them in. And that was it. But it worked really good. And the group was super active. And then it died. Just like everything else. It happens. So yeah. Anyone else? Is that it?
Well, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I wanted to thank you for this call first off, because it kind of stuck out to me a lot, because I have fallen off the wagon for like a whole week.
Right.
And I haven't like been consistent like I used to, like posting every day. And I've had someone reach out to me and have said, you know, I haven't seen you've been posting anything lately. And so that really like stuck out to me. And I can tell like a major difference, because even at first, you know, because it was kind of slow, I haven't, you know, like I know Laura always said, even if, you know, you don't have anybody right away, it's okay. You know, they're listening, they're watching. But she's like, it just takes time. And I have had people, and then I haven't been posting for like a week. And so I totally see the huge difference.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
definitely a big difference.
It kind of just comes down to trusting the process. I know it's really, really hard. And I don't remember where I talked about this, but like we live in a culture where we need that instant gratification, but this is not a business that works on that principle at all. So you kind of have to release that and let it go and just embrace the fact that it's going to take time and be ready to put in the time. Because even if you only do the bare minimum every single day, do that, because it's going to keep your momentum going. The minute you take a step back and stop, you lose all your momentum. And then you got to keep starting over again. And it's like, it wears you down at that point. So don't let that be what happens, you know? But yeah, totally. And people will, and especially at the end of the year when they're kind of facing their demons, that's when you need to be the most present and the most inspiring and out there with what you're doing, because they're going to see you and kind of like want what you have, and they can't know what you have if you don't put it out there. So
exactly.
Yes. It's funny how those people always send you messages like in those moments when, you know.
Yeah, and I totally, like, I felt bad, and I was like, you know, I was kind of falling off track and falling behind, and I got to that point where it was just like, now I'm picking back up the pace, and I'm like, feel like I'm starting all over again. And I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but we've had so much go on lately, so that just kind of sucked.
It's okay. You'll recover from it. You will. All right. Anyone else? Are we all good? If you guys do have any other questions, you can post them in either group, and I'll get to them. And that's it. I'll let you guys go. I'm going to go pass out and sleep like a baby. Thanks for getting on with me, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.